This is Dr. Eddie Connor, and you're tuned in to the Winners CirclePodcast.
Winning. All we do is win. Winner. On the winner's circle. All we do is
This for my money makers, we use it to educate you. Movers and shakers, tell them how you get into the paper.
on the winner's circle.
On the winner circle.
On the winner's circle.
This for my money makers, we use it to
All we
educate
do
you.
is
Movers and shakers, tell them how you get into the paper. On the winner circle.
On the winner's circle.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Winners Circle Podcast. I'm your host, Sam J. To my right, I have,
Yeah, man, OC the Great.
and over here,
Big famous.
Big Famous.
Just big famous for the night, you know.
Oh, no, okay, yeah, you'll be real professional tonight.
Professional night, you know.
Yeah, Miss Pure over there in the back, our engineer. What up, though? And DJ Tuff Tone.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
What's going on? We are honored to have sitting with us tonight as a guest. He's an author, educator, and motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Dr. Eddie Connor. Welcome
Glad-
to the Winner Circle Podcast.
Glad to be in the Winner's Circle.
Hey, you
Yeah.
definitely are in the Winner Circle. He's here tonight to promote his new book, Dear Queen 2. Came out this month, right?
Right.
So it came out this month, hit shelves this month, and all social media platforms. So make sure you go out and purchase it. But before we get into talk about Dear Queen 2, we want to get a little bit of your background, how you got your start. Now you're from Detroit. You have an amazing story to tell.
Oh, for sure. You know, I'm glad to be in the Winner's Circle. You know, if you're not in the Winner's Circle, you're square. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, feel right at home, and y'all definitely kicking it. Pure exposure, all of it is a great opportunity to be able to share. You know, with homegrown Detroit's own. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm an East Sider rider, and yeah. What up, though? For sure.
Shot in the house.
Yeah, wherever I go, I'm gonna rep my city, and yeah, I've done a lot of different things, but it's all about giving back. You know, Dr. George Fraser said, once you learn and earn, then you must return back to your community. So being able to give back to help other people move forward, and 2022 marks 22 years of me being cancer-free.
Cancer-free.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
stage 4 cancer.
amazing.
Yeah. So it's a blessing.
And you were because you're a young man, you were diagnosed pretty young.
Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school, and identity crisis means everything. You know, my favorite two classes in school were gym and lunch. You know, used to love to chase the girls in gym, sit down and eat with them at lunch, and you know, I'm hit with this pain in my chest, and I didn't really want to talk about what's going on. And you know, as boys becoming men, you know, we see vulnerability as femininity, not masculinity. You know, pain is weakness leaving the body. Tough it out. You know,
Right.
be a man. And I'm 15.
That's what you're told when you're young.
Yeah.
Be a man.
Exactly.
You know, don't cry. You know,
Right.
Suck it up.
Suck it
it
up.
up.
Exactly.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So to be able to go through chemo, radiation, my father not being in my life, and people you think are praying for you, but in many cases praying on you, sitting on the sideline expecting your demise, to have that faith in God, but also that determination, that tenacity to beat
Right.
what I was experiencing. It's a blessing to live through dying place and find the can in cancer.
It is a blessing.
Yeah.
How I know you said your father wasn't in your life. How important of a role did your mom play in just keeping you motivated?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my mom is the reason I'm here. I mean, I wanted to give up. I wanted to throw in the towel. I was ready to go. It's her love for me that made me fight. You know, 30-year educator, minister, and, you know, she'd come off her lunch breaks at the job, making sure that, you know, I'm taken care of. And, I mean, she went the farthest extent to help me to overcome that specific obstacle. You know, she told me everybody gets knocked down in life. A knockdown is not a knockout unless you stay down. You know, the canvas is no place for a champion. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounced back. You know what I'm saying?
Right there.
So,
Right.
yeah. So that's what it's about.
I was reading a little bit of your background story, and all I could think of is like Kanye West model, whatever, and how
yeah.
you know how they called him genius and all of that,
Yeah,
but how
yeah.
she really kept him motivated and kept him going. Like she
Yeah.
is the backbone
Yeah.
behind him. And then like you become very successful. You know, you beat cancer, graduated high school, went on to college. So you did the work.
Right,
you know,
right.
But you got to give your mom like that credit.
Oh, got to give her flowers, and I've been able to hang out with Kanye, even during the late registration album years. I'm the college graduate. He was a college dropout. We talked about our moms a lot,
Really?
and we really had a lot of similarities in just our upbringing. He grew up in China for a little while. I grew up in Jamaica. Father's from the West Indies, so I just try to keep it sane, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff going on. Try to make sure I don't lose my mind with all of the success or whatever else that comes with it, and just stay grounded.
Okay.
That's what it's about.
That is what it's about.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you have authored 13 books today.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Now, let me go LeBron. Not one, not two, not three. My fellas know what's going on. Not four, not five.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Yeah.
crazy. How long
Yeah.
does it normally take for you to like pen a book?
The first time I ever penned one, I actually never wanted to be a writer at all. I literally had $1 and a dream of my name in a dorm room, but up at Eastern Michigan University, and it took me about a year to do that one. This latest one took me a few months. I when I get in the groove of things, I know pretty much what I want to say, and I don't force a book. It's got to be a flow for me.
It's got to be
Yeah.
understandable.
Who inspired you to start writing?
Man, good question. My mom made me write. You know what I'm saying? Like she almost, was about to take the belt out to discipline me or something if I ain't write my first book. I'm like, I'm almost a grown man, basically. She said, hey, you got to write your story. It's not for you. It's for somebody else, too. And that's one of the best, decisions I ever made was to do what I didn't feel like doing and share what was really embarrassing to me, and I was healing as I was writing, yeah.
Right, but because it was, like you said, it might have been embarrassing to you at the time it was happening, but
Right.
you don't know what it could help someone else just reading it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
You got so many young people going through things.
Yeah.
Right.
So someone else's story is like great. You say something called "I'm possible."
Mm.
Play on words.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of people got to know that they are possible.
Yeah.
And then you said something also about the can and cancer
Mm-hmm.
that I like.
Yeah, I wasn't always the best reader in school, so I always read Impossible as I'm possible. You know what I'm saying? So, perception is reality. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, and you got to see the possible or the positive in the negative. You know what I'm saying? And in many cases, it's about, you taking your mind to that next level. And I mean, cancer told me what I could do. You look at that prefix of it is can. I can overcome. I can survive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we need to say that a lot. And it even begins like we probably all heard it when we were kids. Like, I think I can.
Right. I know I can. Nas is in the building.
You're very big on youth empowerment via literacy, leadership, life skills, enrichment.
Yeah.
You have your founder of 2 mentoring programs. Tell us about those.
Yeah. Boys to Books and Gifted for Greatness. Boys to Books is about literacy, leadership, life skills, enrichment. The Gifted for Greatness is about Rise paradigm where we focus on responsibility, identity, success, education. The reason I do what I do is because of what I didn't have. I didn't really have a lot of mentors growing up. I was looking at the rappers, the athletes, the cats on the street, you know what I'm saying? And, those were our mentors. And
They still are.
Still are for a lot of people, because I mean, for us, that was success right there. We want the fancy house. We want the car. We wanted the ladies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So seeing all of that, but then being able to connect with like a former principal of mine, Mr. Ivory, who came to visit me when I was in the hospital. We had thousands of kids at the high school, and still came to see about little old me. I had a white man while I was Mr. Wenham, who his wife was my homebound teacher while I was in school. It took me to my first baseball game, first really interaction with a white man. I'm like, they ain't so bad after all. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to change my perception and about who I am, and really see, okay, I don't have to take that negative path. Actually, the square path is really the G path. It was really the right way to go to be able to give back and be able to empower other people. And so You know, you can't spell mentor without men. You know, men need mentors, even as it's not just from the top down, the older, the younger.
They do.
Even us as we're growing and getting older, we still need other brothers that we can, you know, glean and get insight from.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, yeah,
That's very true.
for sure.
You actually motivate me to write a book.
Oh, word. Yeah, you got to do it, brother.
I had an experience. I died before in a car accident.
Word.
Yeah. But I don't tell everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just people that's been close to me. And a lot of people say, you need to write a book because of a lot of the things I've been through. So I had looked at some of the books you had written and all that, and looking at my life. It's like, well, he right. It's not for me. I can share this and possibly can help somebody else because a lot of people have doubt.
Right.
About doubt because they think it's over after that. You know what I'm saying? But this is about you. So we're going to stay on the topic.
This is about us right here. You know what I'm saying? The winner's circle right here.
That's right. Talk about the My Brother's Keeper initiative.
Yeah, the My Brother's Keeper initiative. Yeah, you know, I used to work for former Congressman Hanson Clark. Was just on the phone with him the other day, and he was a former congressman for 13th District, City of Detroit, and he heard me speaking at an event. And I just happened to do an interview with his staff, and they said, "Hey, we want to bring you on with his staff." And I was telling him while I was working with him, I wound up being one of his body persons, going with him to different events and stuff like that. And I told him, hey, you know, literacy is a big issue. Illiteracy, matter of fact.
Yeah.
You know, they say 50% of the Detroiters and 50% of residents of the city of Detroit are functionally illiterate, barely reading at a 4th grade level. And I said, it's really affecting our young black brothers.
I was going to say, is it worse for the boys?
Yeah. Because we see books as an effeminate thing. You know, it's not cool to read books. I mean, how many athletes do you see with a book in their hand? The media doesn't even want to show that.
Right.
And so I told them, hey, you know, I started a mentoring group and, you know, we focus on many of those aspects, and I'm not waving books down the class, the hallway, because I would teach during the day and then mentor after school. I was kicking it with them about, you know, rap and hip hop and, you know, sports and who's your favorite, you know, basketball player. Oh, Steph.
Right.
Now let me put a book in your hand about Steph Curry, about LeBron James. Oh, now I see that you're struggling with reading because you're going to try to pick that up and try to read it. I said, oh, read me a couple of excerpts or whatever the case may be. So I told him about this. I said, hey, you know, we really need to do something. And I got in touch with his people in D.C., and we developed a resolution, HRES 721, focused on bolstering literacy amongst African-American and Hispanic males across America, not just the city. And President Obama used our language to develop the My Brother's Keeper initiative. Yeah. So, you know, it was phenomenal because I'm just trying to do something for the city. I'm just trying to do something just to lift people up. I'm thinking, you know, just right here where I'm at. And it was a national thing. It never became a resolution, but I should say it never became legislation, but it was a resolution.
Yeah.
You know, to really help to hone in and provide opportunities and education for our brothers. Yeah.
That's what's up. You were also featured in a BT documentary, It Takes a Village to Raise Detroit.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Oh, you know what? I really wasn't even supposed to be profiled. I wasn't at all. I'm in the classroom, and I had a couple of my homeboys who do mentoring, and he said, hey, you know, we're doing this BT documentary, and, you know, they're going to be shooting here, there. Can we be in your classroom? You know, can we, you know, actually have some of your young men be a part of our session? And so they spoke, and I spoke, and I just said, hey, you know, success is in my mind, success in my hands. This is a little chant that we do all the time. And BT, they had the cameras rolling at that time, and the guy, I don't know if y'all remember Samson off of BT back in the day. He would do a lot of the street hip hop or the street interviews, stuff like that, and just really get a pulse on the people in the city, and especially in New York. And he said, hey, man, your segment is probably going to be on, you know, BT. And so a few months later, you know, during the BT Awards, you know, they showed our segment here, there, and there, everywhere. And so it was just a wonderful opportunity to be interviewed, but also have the young brothers who were showcased too. Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes, you know, you just fall into something by trying to do a good deed for somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Now we're gonna move to the book, but before we talk about Dear Queen 2, I think we have to talk about Dear Queen 1.
Facts.
What's the difference in them? So,
Yeah.
Dear Queen 1, I think that's more like love letters, or what is it?
Yeah. It's Dear Queen. The whole aspect is all a love letter in book form, and really, Dear Queen came out in 2017. I never had a desire to even write a second one. I didn't even think I would write a second one. This all came from me writing love letters to girls in school.
Right.
Okay.
You know, I used to
You
write.
were like a romantic. I remember getting love letters.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
love letters back in our day. Do they write love letters anymore?
Nah. They don't text on something. If that, drop it in the DM. It goes
DM.
down in the DM. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
So it's a literary love letter.
yeah. So, I'd write the love letters back in the day, and some of the fellas found out I was doing poetry. They're like, yo, I want you to write one for Shorty over here, but you got to keep your name off it, though. I'll break you off some lunch money. You know what I'm saying? Get your little milk chocolate and a pizza.
To write letters.
Yeah.
So they falling in love with you. They don't even know it.
They ain't even know it, And so it's years later, I said, yo, if I could write a love letter to a girl, why can't I write a book of love to women? To love yourself, to know your worth. And so it was Jewels of Wisdom to love yourself and know your worth. And I mean, it just shot off everywhere. And, that Dear Queen became like my thriller. You know what I'm saying? And so people still been buying it to this day, and it just dawned on me. I said, why don't I write a second ensemble? They got Coming to America 2. They got Fast and the Furious 22. Why can't I write a sequel?
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why can't I write Dear
But you
Queen
had
2?
one other book too. That was
what about
a
Woman?
trilogy.
Yeah, it was really a trilogy. Dear Queen, then Woman, and then Wife.
Okay.
And but I never thought about writing follow-up specifically for those books. It just happened just to snowball. I don't really know where I go after the next book sometimes.
Right.
And I just go off of inspiration. Yeah, so I was in a vein, and I don't know if maybe every 5 years I'll write one of these. Maybe
Hey,
so.
they're gonna be waiting on it. Don't put 'em
Takes
too
time to
close
develop,
together, right?
takes time.
to
It takes
develop, but
time.
I think you're doing a great job. As far as Dear Queen 2, I'm only on chapter 5.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate your support.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. I
Appreciate it.
download. I purchased it and I think on Audible. So I listen.
Oh, okay.
At
Okay.
work. I listen in my car, and I mean, your narration is just wonderful.
Oh, you like it? Okay, bet.
I'm like, this is good, drawn in. And I almost feel like this could almost be Dear Queen and Kings, because you are
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
giving a blueprint to success.
Yeah.
It just seems like,
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
you can read this book. I'm telling you, and trying some motivation in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to bring the fellas into it because what's a queen without a king?
That's
You know what I'm
Very
saying?
true.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I
What
wanted to
is
bring,
Very true.
we
Without a king.
That is.
we're instrumental for each other. If we gonna be in the winner circle, we gotta have each other. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be in there together. Just you by yourself or just me by myself. It's about all of us or none of us.
None of us.
We all we
Exactly.
got.
So I'm telling you.
So
you
how should a
ladies-
queen wear her crown?
Ooh, yeah, I love it. I define queen as quintessentially unique, empowering everyone naturally. Real queens don't compete; they collaborate. They not just focus on the man; they focus on their plan. They understand that their royalty demands loyalty. They wear their crown. They build their queendom in the kingdom of God, so to speak. And so I think she wears it in a place of, her authenticity, and then also in authority. She understands that she's too unique to compete. She's too rare to compare. Her sister's not her competitor. Her brother's not somebody who's going to be somebody who steps on her or she steps on them. But she just wants to be who she is naturally, and then also walk in the abundance of who she is. She wants to bear fruit. She's that Proverbs 31 type of woman.
Yeah.
The scripture says a wise woman buildeth her house.
Right.
Foolish plucketh it down with her hands. So she's building, she's blessing, and she's nurturing.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you speak on too as well, like toxic masculinity. Do you think women get in their own way when it comes to love?
I think we get into our own way with the perception of what love is supposed to
the
be.
perception.
Yeah, because a lot of times we're focused on these celebrity couples and power couple, but in many cases, power couple is power struggle.
Right.
And so a lot of times we get so down on love because your favorite celebrity or the one that you felt was supposed to stay together, You know, they wound up separating. I think you have to define your relationship through your specific panoramic lens, not everybody else's. And, you know, you have to bring your specific values to the table. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, a man's bringing his money. How can you expect a sister not to want you to pay her bills if all you do is wave your dollar bills? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, how can you expect a man not to have an appetite if all you bring to the table is meat? You know, and so I think we got to bring, you know, our dreams, our goals, our value, our character. You know, it's not, you're not going to be with her cleavage. You're going to be with her character. You're not going to be with his height. You're going to be with his heart. Right. And we're looking so much on the outside, but who's really the character, not the caricature, but the character of the individual. Exactly. That's what you got to get to know.
Do you think so many women put a price tag on love?
Yeah. I think there are those. You know, I think every woman wants to be paraded and praised and you know, to a certain degree pedestalized, but you know, she's only going to do what you bring to the table. You know, if are you bringing who you are you bringing just gifts and I got to cash you out all the time? You know, right. Everybody going to run where the money is, where the money reside. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, you're going to do that to where she couldn't even get to know you beyond the price tag that you put on her. Right. You know, you got to let her know that her value is not just about what the Birkin bag and the trip to Dubai and all this other stuff. You know, if you lead with that, that's what she's going to follow. But you know, you're able to really see if she's for you, if you don't even have to put any of that on the table. Right. Does she want to be with me for me, or does she want to be with me because of my money?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I know I always hear what I've said. What is his name? Kevin Samuels talking about the high value man. What's your definition of the high value woman?
Yeah, you know, with all of that, you know, misogyny and vitriolic stuff, I mean, you know, you got to, you know, to a certain degree, you say, hey, man, what's up? You know, what is your rationale in regard to belittling black women? Right. You know, what's your relationship with your mother? And I think you got to look at that from that degree, because if he's speaking from a place of hurt, there's some trauma there, you know, that he has not, you know, addressed, confessed, and dealt with. You know, I think the high value woman, you know, it goes back to her knowing her value. You know, it's from the inside out, you know, beyond the filters, beyond the MAC makeup, beyond, you know, you got the wigs and all this other stuff. Right. Beyond all of that makes, you know, a woman, you know, appealing to the eye. You know, who is she behind the scenes? And I think it speaks to the character, the essence, the elegance of who she is, how she carries herself. You know, how does she wear her crown? Does she crown herself with joy and peace? Does she, you know, trade respect for attention? Right. You know, is she priding herself on likes, or is it the love that she has for herself?
Right.
You know, I think that's really what the essence of it is. Okay. Yeah.
Love that.
He answered that for you?
He did. He did.
Got a question for you. Right. What exactly is the Dr. Eddie Kahn Academy?
Yeah. Dr. Eddie's Academy is focused on faith, identity, relationship, speaker training. It's an online academy where we meet through the portal of Zoom, and what we do is we connect. Really, I think people really want transparency. They want connection. They want authenticity, and then some place of accountability. So we bring that all together to really just help people develop. You know, I think the pandemic really gave everybody an opportunity to build their own platform, and I wanted to bring what I do with the books, with the speaking, all of that into just one wheelhouse, to be able to connect with other people and recognize that your network determines your net worth. And so we do a lot of teachings and trainings and sessions. We have a private Facebook group. And, you know, I teach every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. We just talked about the toxic man. Okay. Just last Tales of the Toxic Masculinity. And tomorrow I'm talking about World War Me, how to find victory through adversity. You know, we just connect on a lot of issues and hot topics and really just bring relevance and authenticity to it. So, yeah. Yeah, DrEddieAcademy.com is where people can join.
So check it out. So I want to ask, this is taking it
It's
back.
a winner's circle, I should say. Yeah.
But, right. you're building a circle of winners. So I'm taking it back only because I want to know what happened. You on the Steve Harvey show?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I got to sit back for this one.
it was this young lady on there. I guess she's been having problems with dating from Michigan or whatever. And you offered to take her out. Did you take her out?
I took out.
Did you?
I took out. Yeah.
What happened?
We went out. And I'm behind. Matter of fact, this is when the Steve Harvey show was in Chicago, and they had a segment, United Dates of America.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Steve,
right. So little did I know that the young lady already knew of me. We had a mutual friend, and she already read one of my books at that time, which was called Heal Your Heart, and she was like, quote unquote, the date from hell. Yeah. I mean, she would ask on the first date. She's asking the guy how much cash he's got on him, what's the cash in his bank account, what's his credit score on the first date.
Scammer alert.
Yeah, right.
She sounded like she was,
she wasn't trying to waste no time.
what they call
trying to waste no
Detroit, sack chasing?
Out of here. But I can see why a man would be, turned off,
Yeah, for sure.
That's like a man coming at a woman like,
Right.
what's your score? Huh? What? Your score. What score?
Exactly. So, Steve out be on the show, and I mean, he even prayed before we went out together. He's like, I'm gonna pray for her, and just grab hands. And I ain't never seen Steve pray on TV. But yeah, he was doing it in a comedic way, and they wound up saying, hey, we want you all to go out, and we on the same flight together. We talking, and so we go out, and she wasn't really. She seemed to be pretty shy when we went out. She wasn't really like the person who I saw her, on that video vignette. But, we just had one date. That was it.
That's it.
We talked on the phone a couple times, but there was nothing more to it.
Wrapped it on up.
Well, you
Like,
follow through with it.
Yeah. I try to do what I said I was gonna do. So
Right, exactly. Okay.
just left it there.
Have it there.
out of here.
Left it. I said, you know what? I'm not about to just keep, going on and dates just to try to get back on the show.
Right.
Because they like to do a follow up. I had some stuff going on myself, and I was like, hey, it's cool. She's cool.
Right.
We just, we get together again. We do. If not, no problem.
She'll always be able to say, I went out with Dr.
I went out with Doctor.
She could join the academy, but
Can't take that away. You can't take that away.
You know what I'm saying? She got pure exposure. That's what she got.
Podcast. Patrice, I think that was her name or something.
Right, that's right. That was her name.
Hey,
Yep,
Patrice.
that's right. Yeah. Shout out to Patrice. I hope you're doing well.
Shout out,
Hope you're
Patrice.
doing
Hope
well.
you're doing well.
I want you to give a definition of something because, I know a lot of people think, we know it's a lot of killing, a lot of crime in Detroit. And a lot of people probably think as far as black men, the most dangerous black man is black man with the gun, black man selling drugs, pumping drugs into our community. But who would you say is the most dangerous black man in America?
Yeah, like Nelson Mandela said, the most dangerous person on the planet is the one who's educated, and I think the most dangerous black man on the planet is the one who has knowledge of self. And a lot of times we say education is about formal, middle school, high school, collegiate, professional degree, but it's really about self-education. Formal education to make you a living, self-education to make you a fortune. So having knowledge of self, having knowledge of your historicity, and the fact that we don't start, our history doesn't start with slavery. We understand that we're kings and queens. We got to see the royalty in who we are, our brothers and our sisters. And when I see that my brother and my sister's made in the image of God, I can't kill them not only with a gun but with my tongue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got to watch the words that I say.
Right.
Your words create your world. And then you also think about the fact that, we live in this system that is so against, African American excellence, black excellence, and so they'll put a highway through your city. They'll through your neighborhood. They'll put you in dilapidated house and allow you to be there, and then now put you against each other, and then say, "Oh, it's just black on black crime." But look at the white on white crime; it's 84%. We don't talk about that though. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at all the they'll give you more McDonald's and Burger King, and then complain, well, black people just dying of diseases that are preventable. But give us a grocery store.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you putting guns into our communities? You know,
Don't bring the bad meat to the ground.
yeah. The drugs we ain't got the boats for the drugs.
No, the planes. The planes.
Oh, the planes, right? You see,
Whatever.
yeah. We ain't got the planes, trains, and automobiles like that.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we still have to create and pave our own
Systematic
way.
racism.
That's right. That's the truth.
All right, I got a quick question. You got 13 books.
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite?
Boy. Man, it's like having 13 children. I don't want
Children,
to
right.
favoritism
You birthed
right
them
there.
all.
Right.
You know, I gotta say, probably the one that I wrote that's my longest book is My Brother's Keeper. It's a book to men, and before I ever wrote a gender specific book, it was always to our brothers first.
Brothers
Yeah,
like that.
a lot of people say, "Oh, wow, your books are a lot of them to women," but the first book I ever wrote was to men. That's gonna be my next book as well, to the brothers again.
men.
Brothers,
Yeah.
yes.
And that book was really about, just the value internally that a lot of times we don't pride ourselves on masculinity. That's what I want to deal with next, because we hear toxic masculinity, and you always have to have some type of adjective when you're using masculinity. And I really don't even like the term toxic masculinity because it's an indictment on just being born male.
Right.
You already toxic because you got masculine traits, this, that, and the other. And, you got to say, oh, healed masculinity. You just can't be masculinity on his own.
Right.
And so, moving into that place of just dealing with masculinity and vulnerability and even the maturity that comes through it, I think is a lifelong process. Yeah. So My Brother's Keeper is probably my favorite.
Okay. If you could leave everyone with one thing, especially the young people, what are some keys to opening up their inner king and queen?
That's good. I think you got to define yourself. I think if you don't know who you are, people going to tell you what you're not. And the definition of yourself is discovering what is your why. I think you got to ask some serious questions for yourself, about yourself, to yourself, if you're going to, free yourself. And that is, who am I? Why was I born? What is my purpose? Where am I going? And then who do I want?
Doing?
Yeah, what am I doing? Who do I want coming with me? Who do I want in my winner's circle?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What are the type of people who I want to see myself being around? And now, based upon you answering all those questions, now you got to make some choices about what you do with your life and the decisions that you make. And everybody, in your past can't fit into your future.
That's right.
It's not personal. It's just business.
Yeah.
I got to be about my father's business. I got a legacy to uphold. I got a generation that I want to empower and impact. I want to leave a legacy for my generation. Family and love and life and vitality and all that. And so I think it's really about, what are you doing now to create a legacy for the future? Yeah.
What's up. And I'm telling you, everyone, this book here, Dear Queen 2, you want to pick it up. A lot of the jewels he's dropping is right here in this book. He is giving you the blueprint to success. Like you said, if you have questions why, it's a lot of whys. I find myself today like, why do I?
Yeah.
Like, why? No, honestly. So, like I said, and it's very easy. He's going to tell you where you can pick his book up, what platforms. I know Amazon, Audible. Like I said, if you don't like reading, download Audible. You can listen to it while you're at work, while you're driving, while you're cooking, taking a bath. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Okay? Dear Queen 2.
Oh, yeah,
Dr.
absolutely.
Eddie Conner. Thank you for joining us. Let
Appreciate
them know
you.
where they can purchase your book.
Most
how they
definitely.
Can follow you.
Most definitely. This quote that says, everyone has a crown over their head that one day they'll grow tall enough to wear. This is a book that empowers you to wear your crown, how to wear your crown, walk in authority and authenticity. Dear Queen, Volume 2.
Winning. All we do is win. Winner. On the winner's circle.